Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. This video is part 12 of my Enigma blanket design, and this is the final part of the blanket. In this part we're going to be making the border, so it's 3 border rounds. In the last round we're making this nice little shell border. So let's get started on the final parts. We're going to start in the corner of the last panel. So this is part 11. You see the shells there, that corner. You can start on either side of the blanket, doesn't matter which side you start. We've got this side, and here in this first stitch, that half double there, I'm going to attach my yarn there with a slip stitch. There we go. Then chain 1, and now here in this same stitch where I'm currently at, I'm going to work a single crochet. And this single crochet, I'm just going to mark that because this is one of my corners. So I just put a stitch marker in there. Now on the next 182 stitches, and that is almost to the other side of this panel, work a back post half double. So I'm going to yarn over. So the next stitch, so the stitch here, back post half double, and work this 182 times, and that will bring you almost to the other side of the panel. You'll have one stitch left. So just continue like this, and I'll see you when you have 180 or so of these back post stitches. Almost to the other side. I have a few more half doubles to do, and then this is the last one, 182 half doubles. And at this point there should be one stitch left, that corner stitch, or the last. We're going to turn that into the corner stitch. In this last stitch, this half double, work 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. So 3 singles in that one stitch, and we're going to mark the second of those 3. There we go, with a marker. So this is our second corner. So this is a new corner. At this point, rotate your work. So you're going to have the edge to the side of your blanket here, this panel. You're going to have this in front of you now. On this panel, so here you've got the chain 2 space, that's from the corner. This chain 2 space, not yet, so we're going to work into that, but not at this point. So before there, and between where you are now, evenly distribute 44 single crochets. Now it's not critical exactly where you place them. If you just look at your work, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 panel, or 4 sections on this panel. Let me just zoom out a bit, that's maybe easier. I don't have to keep folding the blanket. Yes, you've got 4 sections here and 44 stitches. So in essence, 11 single crochets along the edge of each section. That's what you're going to do now. Now, and like I said, it's not critical exactly where you place them, just that you do. And I know these yarn tails are still here. I've purposefully left that because it's easier to work these away when the border is done. So between where I am now and here, the first edge, like section here, you need to do 11 singles, so 4 times 11. I'm just going to do here. So 1, and then I'm going to do 2, 3, and then 4, 6. And here I'm going to put 7. You can see it's really not critical exactly where you put them. 7. And this is 8. I'll put 9 here. 10. And then number 11 I'm just going to kind of put there. 11. This is the idea, and if you're here and you've now only, for example, worked 12, or like work 8 or so, or just pull out and work a few more, so that you can, you might have to undo this once or twice until you've got it nicely evenly distributed. So this is 11, so I'm going to work 11 on the edge here, and then I'm going to work 11 here, and then I'm going to work 11 here, and then not including the corner space, because we're going to work on that for a moment, and that'll give you 44 stitches along this edge. So continue like this. Like I said, it's not exactly critical where you place them, just evenly distribute them, and then I'll see you back when you've got 44 of these. So I've worked 44 single crochets here along the edge, evenly distributing those. And at this point you're at the chain space. Here's the chain 1 space here. This is from the large center square. In that chain 2 space, work 1 single crochet. And now you're on the edge here, and this edge has 182 stitches, so work a single crochet on each of those. Especially here the first one, be careful of that you don't miss that first stitch. There. 1, and this is 2. You're going to work 182. That'll bring you, well, to the other side of the square. Then I'll see you back. So this is a nice and easy bit. So 182 single crochets until you're to the next chain space of the corner. So I've worked all those single crochets. I'm now on the other side of the large square. Here's the large square, and 182 of them, and then you're at the chain space. Then in that chain space, 1 single crochet. There we go. And now you're at the edge of the next panel. So here along this side, here along this edge, I'm going to work 44 single crochets. So this is exactly the same as on the other side of the big triangle, of the big square, I mean. So again, on like every sub edge, so here 11, 11, 11, and 11 singles. So not the corner. The corner we're going to do in when you're finished with that. So in the same way as before, evenly distribute those 44 stitches and do them in groups of 11. And again, it's not very critical where you place them, it's just that you do. So I'm going to make it jump in the video because it's the same as before. So here along the edge, work 44 singles, and then I'll see you at the, well, when you're here, when you've got 44 stitches. So I've worked 44 single crochets along this second side here, and at this point you are exactly halfway on the blanket. So everything you've just done, repeat one more time. So I'll just start you off on the next repeat. So here on the first stitch of this edge, in that first stitch there, work a single crochet there, and again mark that with a stitch marker because that's a corner stitch, again that stitch there. And like I said, this is the start of the next repeat. So so now you're going to work back post stitches on these 182, and then a new corner, and then along that that second long edge. So go all the way around, and when you get back to your first stitch, that's going to be the marked stitch that's marked on the other side of the blanket. Close there with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off. Round 2 of the border, we're going to start in any of the marked stitches in our 4 corners and attach your yarn there with a slip stitch. So in that marked stitch. There we go. Then a chain 1. This is just to get you started. I'm just going to remove the marker because that's easier. Now in this marked stitch we're going to work 3 single crochets, and this is also the start of the repeat. So 3 singles here in the corner, so that's 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to place the marker in the second of these 3 stitches. And that's just to mark it for the next round. And now continue, and on every stitch work a single crochet, and continue that until you get to the other side. It's going to be a long stretch, especially if you're doing the long side of the blanket, until you get to the next marked stitch. And then in that stitch you again work 3 single crochets. Mark the second and continue like that all the way around. And when you get back to the beginning, close on your first stitch with a slip stitch, and then you can also fasten off. Round 3 of the border, last round of the blanket. Here's the marked corner stitch, doesn't matter which corner you choose, so one of the corners, and we're going to attach the yarn with a slip stitch 3 stitches before. So here's the marked corner, so then 1, 2, 3 stitches back. Going to attach there with a slip stitch. There we go. Now what we're going to do is, and this is immediately the start of the repeat. You've got these 2 stitches here before the corner. Going to skip those 2 stitches, and then in the corner we work 8 doubles. So I'm going to yarn over, skipping those 2 in the corner, the marked stitch. This is 1 double. I'm going to work 8 of them, so I'm just going to remove the marker. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 doubles in that 1 stitch, and that's the corner, so that really gives you the large shell that makes the corner. Just want to zoom in a little bit better. That was maybe a bit too much. So you can see the corner. Now for the straight edge, I'm going to skip 2 stitches and then make a slip stitch. So we're going to, and this first stitch here is a little bit hidden, that's what I wanted to show you. So 1, 2, skip, and then in the third make a slip stitch. Now for the straight edge we're going to be making more shells, but they're just going to be slightly smaller than the corner. The corner shell has 8 doubles, and then on the straight edge the shells have 6 doubles. So we're again going to skip 2 stitches and then work a shell with 6 doubles. So this is where you're currently at. So 1, 2, skip, then here in the third stitch, there, that's the first double, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then again, skipping 2 stitches, work a slip stitch. So 1, 2, skip, and a slip stitch. And this is everything you're going to do this entire edge. So you're now going to repeat this 6 double crochet shell right until you get to 2 stitches before the next corner. That's going to be like this slip stitch here, and then you work the corner shell, which is 8 doubles. So I'll just quickly show you once more, and then you just go all the way around. So we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, then here in the third work 6 doubles, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2 skip and work this slip stitch. There we go. So repeat this all the way around, and like I said before, the corner you're going to have that last slip stitch, and then you'll have 2 stitches skip and then work the 8 double crochet shell in the corner. Go all the way around, and then you'll finish here in this first stitch where you already have a slip stitch, so that'll be the place also where you end. And then you can fasten off and work away any yarn tails you might still have. Then when you've gone all the way around and you've worked away all your last yarn tails, you've finished the Enigma blanket. I want to thank you for joining me on this journey, and I hope to see you again soon for something new.